All right, guys, here we are back again. Week 2, we're in the workshop. It's going to be good. We're going to get this KX done. We're working on that at the moment. We've also got, what are we going to do? So last week we were putting this CR500 engine together. We did have obviously a lot of case repairs on it. So what we've found, we've got it all together. However, because we actually reshaped and welded all this back, because all of this was missing, completely gone. This was all 2-part, like epoxy, whatever, shit. However, the gentleman that fixed it, which I'm not going to name, forgot to double check, and it's on me as well, because I didn't check it before it all went together, but I should have. So now we have to pull all this apart again, which is fine. It's not the issue. So what we will be able to do though is now we'll do a leak down test on it, check that the cases are all sealing properly. Everything turns, shifts, spins freely, so we believe that the case repair is correct, which is nice. Well, the inside case repair is correct. Nothing fouls. I can't hear any scuffing or binding or anything like that, which is good. So what we're going to do now is, not right now, but we are going to have to pull that apart and go through everything that we need to fix that, which is fine, but our priority at the moment is getting this done. So we've got coils on, we've got all that up there. Plug, we've got to cut this down and then put the new plug cap on it, that's easy enough. Sprockets on, got to get the chain guide, chain slider. At the moment we're trying to find the mounts that go here, the rubber mounts that sit on there, but I don't think we're going to find them, because they, at the moment anyway, because they seem to be no longer available through Kawasaki, which is fine. It's okay, we'll get there. We've just got to improvise. Maybe we can make something or have a look at what we can do. Just got to get this fitting a bit nicer too. I don't like the way this fits. Sort of fouls on that's the radiator shroud, fouls on the radiator quite a bit. Cool, so what are we going to do? We're going to try and fit this. This is an 82 chain slider, which we got new. We've got to try and figure out, I know it's going to be different, but how different is it? That's the other side of it as well. You've got to remember, it's all a compromise. So what we will do is have a quick look now. What we can see. This is actually pretty cool. I'll show you. This is a piece. I can't remember the guy that does it, but you can find them on eBay and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, these are some of the hard to find plastic bits, but this is 3D printed. We do a bit of 3D printing for prototyping, but this is production level stuff. As you can see, it's got the steel inserts in it. So we're going to try and see what we can see here, how good or bad this is going to fit. And of course, I'm going to have to pull that out. That's all right. We will survive. Now, looking at it, it's gonna kind of work once it goes in there. It's not gonna be perfect, but I think it's pretty close, because they were different, all the 80s, as I've always said. The 80s was definitely, every year was different, everything was hard work. So that's all right. Rang up John Stamnus this morning. Al's gonna get us a front brake line sorted for this. He'll make one up tomorrow. That'll be on. Desperately need the zinc plating back from our zinc plater. So hopefully that'll be Big Zinc, not Big Zinc, the plating place in Bayswater in Victoria. Do an amazing job. So hopefully we can get that back in the next couple of days so we can sort of finalise some of this stuff. And we've got our order from CMSNL, Consolidated Motor Spares in Netherlands. So they're an amazing source of new stock, old stock, secondhand stock, all sorts of stuff for these bikes. So it's really good. So let's get into it. Let's let's see what we can do to try and get some of this stuff together. The radiator hoses in, we clean them up. We actually, when we do radiator hoses, if the radiator hoses are in good shape, we actually hydroblast them. As you can see, they actually come up really, really nice. New old stock radiator for it, that was pretty cool. Got the original gear selector all coated back and on there, so that selects gears nicely. Now, the biggest thing we did find, now I've got to try and figure this out. I'm sure that this was the kickstart lever off this bike. However, if I look at reference photos, it looks completely different and it doesn't actually work. So that tells me that it's not. But I'm pretty sure it did come off this because it was all together with it. We're pretty fastidious when it comes to that sort of stuff. But as you can see, it's just way too long. Like no. Oh, actually, I've figured it out. I've just had an epiphany. We do have a similar aged vehicle in here at the moment, and I'm thinking one may have gone to, oh no, nah, that's not where we're at either. Okay, so no, I'm completely all over the place. That's not, this is the joys of restoring bikes. And this is the joys of restoring 4,000 bikes all at once, which is what we do. It's what we love doing. However, it comes with its little bits and pieces. So now I've got to try and figure out why, how, what's going on with this Kickstarter. There's not any other Kickstarters around for this bike in the workshop, and they're no longer available, of course. Why would they be? So I've got to try and figure that out. Like I said, we've got to the 19th of January. It is now the 6th of January, so we don't have a great deal of time to get this bike together. We are very, 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 very close. So I'm hoping front brake, like I said, that's all together. We're really close. Like I said, we're just going to try and figure out some of these bits and pieces. The next thing will be building all the rear wheel back up properly. And once we get all the zinc plating back, but I'm thinking that that's not going to be too bad. Well, like putting the Kickstarter together wasn't meant to be too bad either, but here we are. So yeah, that's the joys of it. That's the part and parcel. It's what we do. So now I'm going to try and figure out this little mystery as to where the correct kickstart shaft is for this bike, what happened to it, and if it even had the correct one on it. So there's 4,000 million questions you've got to ask yourself before you come to that conclusion. And that's the thing with these bikes weren't built yesterday. So we've got to go down the path of looking through parts fishes, looking at reference images, all that sort of stuff, looking through all the boxes that we've got of parts and see what, where, how, all that stuff. So somewhere in these boxes, like this is all the leftover bits and pieces that we've got from this bike. As you can see, it wasn't in great shape. Bits of frame that we had to replace and whatever else. So it's not in there. We did have a few bits kicking around left over in here, but as I said, there's nothing really. The bike's pretty much almost all together, so it's not exactly easy to find some of this stuff. All right, so the plot thickens. I've just looked back at all the old reference photos for this bike, and it looks like this was the kickstart lever that was on it. However, it just doesn't look right to me. We've got to have a look, really. It just doesn't seem to wanna, like it fits, it's really, I don't even know if it really does fit, to be honest. So it sort of sits there, sits well out, because it's got to have a couple of clips, whatever else. I mean, it's a lot of Kickstarter for a 125, and you can see it wants to foul on the frame just in there as it comes down. So I don't know. This is one of those mysteries. We've got to keep digging into it and see what we can see, because it can't even phase further more. So it's probably something really obvious that I've completely overlooked, but I mean, that does happen from time to time. So I will endeavour to keep looking into this. We've still got heaps more to do to keep ourselves busy, so I want to try and not get tied up too much in what we've got going on here, but I definitely need to get this issue sorted. So we're going to get back into it and see what we can find. All right, guys, here we are, day 2, week 2. We are getting ready. We've obviously got the KX125 that we've been working on. We've got some more parts hopefully arriving today. We are going to get onto some Jed Beaton's stuff today, so that's going to be pretty cool. We've got his 02 YZ1 250 that we're doing, which has been really good, given his connection with Yamaha and whatever. We've been able to get some cool new old stock bits for that, so that's going to be good. We're pretty much going to be on that most of today. We've got radiators, we've got bits and pieces, clips, clamps, all that sort of stuff. Still got to figure out suspension with it. I think we're obviously going to he's going to try and get Gary Ben to do the setup for us. If Gary doesn't know that and Gary's watching, he does now. But yeah, like I said, I think we're going to try and get that happening. We've still got the Boydie bike. We've got to pull the front end out of that and get the forks off to Sutton Tools to get the coatings done, and we've got to put the engine together. So that might be a this afternoon thing, I reckon. We'll have a look at getting the engine together and into that. Then we can we've got a good base to work outwards from there. So yeah, like it's been good. Like I said, you'll see a lot more of the trials and tribulations that we go through on a day-to-day basis. Something cool, we did just get some of the new JT gear. Super cool 90s stuff about it. When I saw it, I was like, yep, got to reach out. So that's really good. Super good quality stuff by the looks of it too. The pants match. Like it's good to see these colors coming back and these styles and designs coming back, because that was the golden era of motocross. There is no better time. We know that. You know that. I know that. So yeah, like that's what it should be. That's exciting. It's colorful. It's all that sort of stuff. So it's nice to see that gear coming back. It's nice to see JT putting a push back into the market with that sort of stuff. So we really appreciate what they're doing. So yeah, no, it's going to be good. So let's get into it. I've got to do some admin work this morning. We've got to get a few bits and pieces done, trying to get some more t-shirt designs happening. And then we are out in the workshop. Like I said, Beaton's bike today, try and get a good handle on that. What else? Oh, we've got Full Throttle Empire. We've got them on board now, building their giveaway bikes as well as Osmoto Group, which is super cool. Luke and his wife, really lovely people. We helped them out getting one of their next giveaway bikes rescued from another workshop. They've just had no end of bad luck with poor mechanics and guys who say they can do things that they can't. So we've actually got their last giveaway is coming. This is how dedicated he is, right? He's sending it from Cairns to me here in Victoria, which is not down the road, to get the engine right, because he doesn't trust the guy up there to do it, who built the bike. So we're going to get it here, and then we're going to ship it from here to the guy who won the bike. The bike's already been given away. So realistically, you've won a CR500. Like, it is what it is. But these guys, him, Osmoto Group, they just want it to be better than the next guy, right? So they're putting in the effort. So we're going to put in the effort to help them out, and vice versa. So it sort of works really well. So it'll be cool to see that. Luke's going to get that on a transport truck in the next couple of days, get it down here, and then we'll go over it when it lands. So yeah, it should be good. But yeah, let's get into today, see what today brings. Yesterday was a little uneventful, but some days are, some days aren't. Still haven't figured out Still haven't figured out the Kickstarter for this KX. Well, I have. I don't know where this one's come from. It did come off the bike, but it's not the right one, which is, like I said, this is part of it. So now we've got to find an original one at the last minute. So let's see what we can come up with. All right, so we are going to be, like I said, working on Jed's bike today. So we've got all the frame, everything in, swing arms in, engines in and built. So now we're going to sort of start working on getting the radiators fitted off. We're going to hydroblast the subframe. We are going to sort out the airbox, put all that together, get that in the bike. We've got, as you can see, we've got a brand new airbox, which is nice. So the subframe's got to be cleaned up, which is easy. Got a whole heap of parts, all the yummy bits here, which is nice. So we've got to just fit off a few bits and pieces. That's a beautiful thing about a lot of these, or especially the YZs. Still at the moment, like some of the earlier stuff, not so much, but definitely this stuff here is parts. Yamaha still have a lot of parts available because a lot of them are interchangeable, which is pretty wild. Like their 2024 engine cases in this thing, barrel, power valve, everything. So it's a 2024 engine that we had left over. So yeah, we're going to get into that today. So it should be good. We should actually start to see it sort of a little bit more, less skeletal, a little bit more looking like a bike. Like I said, we're still got to do the shock. We're still got to figure out forks before we can get any of the front end on it. We've got a new old stock tank coming from Yamaha, which hopefully might even be here today. I don't know. But if we get the tank and the radiators all fitted up, that'd actually be cool. It would give us sort of some nice visual cues. Vision Concepts, I've got to do the Reedy's style kit for it, which will be good. So we're going to get stuck in now and see how much we can get through. Sort of get as much on it as we can and just sort of see what we're missing. Because as we go through, like, yeah, you've got a good idea, you've got all the parts, fishers, you've got all the stuff that you need to figure it out. But when you're with it and you're putting stuff together, that's when you realize, hey, I've missed this, or I don't know where that is, or you can sort of, oh, do I need this? Do I not need this? So you sort of do it in stages. So that's why. So what we'll do is we'll see if we've got another order of parts for Yamaha, get all that stuff together, and then hopefully we'll start seeing some colours on this thing soon. What are you doing? You actually doing anything productive? Away? All right, so we have realised that the subframe is twisted on this bike and it's had some repairs, which we did see. But I've just gone and checked to see if we can get, if they still have them in stock with Yamaha, and they don't, on our usual part sourcing place, which is it's all linked back to the dealers. However, I have just sent Jed a message just to see if any of his contacts at Yamaha might be able to sort one out for us, because if not, we'll just have to repair it. It is what it is, but I mean, it'd be nice. Like, you can see how bent it is. It's sort of doing that. But I mean, like I said, we can work with just about anything, which, you know, like I said, is easy enough. We just gotta, like you can see, it's bent that way. It's had a few repairs, but I mean, to be honest, it's not that dramatic. It's just, you know, something we've got to plan for. But that's all right. So we're going to keep going. Going to keep going with this thing. I'm going to get the rear guard into it, and that'll give us a bit better indication of how bent it is and where everything sits. Mount the muffler up. Like I said, we're still waiting on some bits and pieces, mounts and stuff like that, but that's okay. We can still press on with a fair few other bits and pieces. So we're getting into doing the forks now. We've got one of them in here on the McGrath replica, as you can see. So we've got one built up. Now we have to keep going because we've got some bits that have arrived for the Cowie. And obviously, as we know, that's due next week. So we've got to get into here and start putting this other fork together. Get that in, we'll order some tyres and whatever else, and while we're waiting on those, we'll get onto the Cowie. All right, here we are, guys. Day 3, Wednesday. Okay, so yesterday we were working on Jed's bike, getting that all sorted. We got it to a really nice place. Obviously, we're still waiting on a lot of stuff from Yamaha, which is fine. Today, we will be spending some time on this thing. Gonna get the forks rebuilt and in, and start tidying up some of the loose ends so we can get this to a point where it's just about ready to go. We're gonna put the clutch and stuff in it, fit tires, whatever else, but this thing's looking really good. I love these bikes. This is pure VHS generation. Like it's awesome. So really looking forward to seeing this one finished. McGrath actually shared this one on his Instagram a little while ago, which was pretty cool. It's a McGrath tribute. It's in no way a race replica. Because there's no works parts on it, just some cool reproduction covers and the JSV cone pipe and whatever else. So that's cool. We are actually this morning going to be doing a seat cover on a new KTM for Vision. So we're going to be putting one of the SP Moto seats. We're going to be switching them over because this bike's coming up for sale. So we're just going to quickly put that on and see what it looks like. So the seat covers on. These are, without a doubt, probably globally the best seat covers we've ever used. SP Moto seats make the best covers. They make the best custom covers. They do thermal printing. They do all that sort of stuff. We've thrown some pretty wild curveballs at them and they've managed to get it done. Any of our custom seats that you see would have come from them, including the printed sides, like this KTM one that we're working on, the McGrath replica one. We've also got a printed side happening for this 80 seat, 125, the 250, the 91. They do everything. So and they're the easiest seat covers to fit as well. So like that took 10 minutes to put that on, if that. There is no other seat cover, modern gripper seat cover, that is made, designed and used the material that they do. Now, they're very humble. Get on their website, SP Moto Seats. And yeah, like I said, they're the absolute best there is. All right, so we've got the forks in this thing here, as you can see. Starting to look good. It's starting to look like a bike. It's what we call the hovercraft stage. Just realised we've got tyres in stock for it. We've got tubes, rim locks, we've got brake discs, sprocket, so we can pretty much get this thing on wheels, which will be good. Get it down, get it on the ground. As you can see, it is cool. Let's have a look. What do we got? So the forks are in. We're just got to get some more bolts. I've got to order another bolt kit for it. We generally keep them sort of in stock and pillage them as we go. So they're in, looking good. Got tyres ready to go on this thing. Brake discs. So yeah, we've also got a box of zinc plating here from the plating place. So we've got axles and everything, so we should be able to start getting this into a happy place. So we get wheels on it, tyres on it. That's going to be good, and then that'll get us into a really nice sort of space. Then we can start going through all the bits that I've been putting off. Not putting off, but just stuff that I still need to order and get sorted out. So yeah, it should be good. We've got Paul from Prime Pipeworks coming down soon. We're starting to finalise the G11 C6 carbon mufflers. I mean, it'd be nice to get one of those on here. We'll see how we go. We're just coming up with a few design changes, which is good. And we're also going to be doing those C6 mufflers will be available for the CR500 AFs, which will be nice. So it'll be good to get a nice, good carbon Stinger muffler on a new school frame. Get a bit of that old school vibe back to it. So let's get into getting wheels on this. Speaking of old school. All right, so we've got the front wheel in it, which is nice. Sort of fitted up really good. So we're just gonna fit off the back disc and sprocket. We actually run, depending on what the customer wants, but we actually run these MTX kits, which are actually really good, really well priced. So you get a gold chain, O-ring front rear sprocket to suit most bikes. Like they do a lot of the older stuff as well, which is cool. All your good dealers should have them. So yeah, we're pretty much, like I said, we've got the front wheel in it now, which is good. Now we're to get the rear wheel in. So we'll start by building that up and then we'll fit it off. All right, guys, that's it. That's what we've done this week. It's a little bit of a behind the scenes. We're going to try and bring you one of these each week, just to pretty much give you an update on what we're doing and how we do things. We are going to start bringing the specialized videos back when we've got a little bit of time, but hopefully this will satiate what you guys are looking for with what we're doing at the moment with all this sort of bike stuff. So it's been pretty cool. Like I said, thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing, don't forget to support us. Shout out, subscribe, all that sort of stuff really helps us and motivates us to keep bringing this content, because it is a lot of work, as a lot of you will appreciate, especially when we've got to do all this stuff as well. So, which is good, but yeah, it is nice to see the support come through. So thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next